Hello and welcome everyone to our Women Together Connect. It is a joy to be together. My name is Antoinette and I'm our host for our Women Together Connect experience today. Bringing in wonder is today's theme. And what I'd love to do is just start as we always do, whether you've been here before or this may be your first time, with a warm welcome. And I see all of us already saying hello in the chat. So it would be great to just start there with a little hello, maybe sharing where you're coming from. And some of us like to share a little bit about the weather. And we do that, it's almost a little tiny practice for ourselves to just look at what's going on externally before we do a check-in internally. So I see some of us already saying hello and sharing. I see sunny Boston, Tampa Bay, Florida, beautiful day, foggy Palo Alto. Here in the northeast of the US, we have been experiencing a bit of a cold front. So I see Middletown, Delaware, sunny 43. Warm welcome from sunny, warm Bloomfield, Connecticut. I've been having a little bit of an allergy of some kind. I don't know if it's just cleaning out the house or what it is, but little sneezing fit happening regularly. So excuse me if that happens, but love wearing my woolies here today in North Carolina, clear and cold, Chicago 35 degrees and sunny. Warm welcome from sunny, warm Bloomfield, Connecticut. Sun in Marlborough, Vermont, wonderful. Winchester, Mass. Okay, great. So I think we're in. And if you're still typing, no worries, we will pick up some more. But maybe we just sit together for a moment and allow ourselves to land in the space together. So if you can, just feel a sense of connection with your seat, with your chair, and we'll just take a moment to notice the breath together. So taking a little breath and just relaxing into the chair and relaxing into this being together. And perhaps lowering your gaze or closing your eyes. Wherever you are, just feeling the breath moving in the body. Perhaps you feel it moving in and out. Perhaps you feel it moving up and down the body. And perhaps on the inhale, you can fill the lungs. You can feel the rib cage, feeling the breath move all the way in and down. And on the exhale, perhaps feeling the breath moving up the body and out through the nose and the mouth, out through the top of the head. Just following the rhythm of that breath for a few moments together, in and down, and then up and out. Just noticing if there are any sounds or smells or anything that's coming into your space, maybe even a thought, just noticing it and then thanking it and letting it be released from your attention, your awareness. So just being fully here, fully present, and perhaps just starting with a little scan of the body today. I'm just scanning, noticing what sensations are going on in the body. If something feels particularly good today, or particularly not good. Just being with it, not trying to fix or change anything today, just being with it, being with your ability to notice, your ability to be aware. And as you're here in this mindful or aware space, noticing if there are any emotions, any feelings that may be swirling around. Just taking an awareness of your, maybe a screenshot of your emotional body. And then perhaps also your mental body, just noticing your thoughts, your stream of thoughts today, your ability to kind of stay with a thought today. Am I distracted? Am I connected? Am I just noticing what's here today? It's often this deepened sense of awareness that allows us to slow down enough to experience things like awe and wonder. So when you're ready, just connecting in with your intention today, what brought you to today's session? What drew you in to connect with this group, with each other, with ourselves? And if there's a sentence or phrase that comes to mind that describes your intention, you can connect back with your computer screen and with your keyboard and type in the chat just an intention, either in the Zoom chat or in the comments. Just what brought you here, an intention that brought you here today. And I will check in on our YouTube friends, see if we have any comments coming in there as well, and read a few of these out. Okay. Opportunity for magic, a pause. This is part of my daily practice today. Beautiful. What brought me here? Potential to develop a bond with women who want a deeper connection with themselves and the universe. Yes, deeply appreciate that about our community here. Wonderful. So we just can dive right in, and I'd like to share just a little bit of kind of some thoughts about wonder and how we might start to bring it in, and then do a little practice in our own space, and then come back to each other in the breakout rooms and just dive in a little bit to connect with each other, because it really does make a difference. It really is. I always say this is the magic when we get to connect with each other and dive in, that it really does make a difference to be able um, to connect. And I've been thinking actually a little bit about that. And I just wanted to say one thing, that, meditation and having this practice of stillness is it does so much. It allows us to connect in with ourselves. It slows us down. It gives us a chance to make choices rather than just react. It does all this wonderful stuff. And I was thinking about what is it that, for me has been important about connecting with others. And for me, it's been also a co-regulation thing. So it's when I start to feel somebody else, instead of regulating my own nervous system on my own, all of a sudden, when I start feeling into the group and feeling into the others in my small breakout groups, the magic in part of it is just allowing ourselves to feel and be felt. So to see and be seen, to feel and be felt, that when and another word for that might be witnessing. But as I'm going through my own experience, that somebody is not just waiting to share their experience, but that we actually are opening our own, for a moment, our own bodies, our own nervous systems, our own minds and hearts to the experience of another. And when we think about the idea of bringing in wonder to our lives, wonder is almost like a gateway to be able to connect with anything, but connect with anything outside of ourselves. Because wonder is almost the first moment, even before curiosity, even before, oh, I'd like to connect, even before having a thought about what the next thing is. Wonder has this openness, this brightness to it. And, I often think it, for many of us, probably we think about the way that children or babies or, very young people have this innate sense of wonder because they're seeing the world or they're seeing things for the first time. And there's just this kind of wide-eyed wow that they carry around in the world. And it's often up to us as adults to keep that sense of wonder alive in ourselves and in each other. And so the question is, how do we do that? And, I just think about, there's so many different ways, but I thought I'd share a quote, and this is actually from a University of Michigan psychologist who really talks about defining awe, and he says he defines awe as the wonder we feel when we encounter something powerful that we can't easily explain. So I'll just put that in the chat and say it again. It's the wonder we feel when we encounter something powerful that we can't easily explain. I love that. Jean said puppies too. And I love that idea that just, very simply, that when there's something powerful, when there's something that is just holding so much power, something that is holding so much beauty or grace, and we can't easily explain it. Our minds can't just say, well, that's da-da-da-da-da-da. That's when we experience wonder. And so often in meditation, we talk about something called beginner's mind. So it's how can I open my mind enough and kind of allow myself to almost forget everything that I've ever learned and just for a moment allow myself to be a beginner again. Allow myself to just be open and to just see everything around me as if I'm seeing it for the first time. And seeing it and can't easily describe it, or don't even allow myself to go into the scientific description, the emotional, whatever this brought up, or whatever the sentimental thing was. So what I'd love to do is just invite us into a little practice in our own space. If you can get up and move around, that's an invitation. If you would like to just stay seated, that's also fine. But the invitation is just going to be to move around the space, and everything that you see, just pausing. So it could be going to the window and just pausing, could be literally just looking. I have some shells and things around a plant, just being with that thing, or that experience, and allowing it to be vast and complex and, just something that allows you to spark into a different kind of attunement around that object, a different kind of, um, you know, we often walk around with a particular tune or a particular phrase or a particular, um, our mind makes sense of things in certain ways. So this is just allowing ourselves to step out of the daily, this plant is there because it's there, whatever, to really attending to the microcosms inside, whatever you see in front of you. So I'll invite you to stand up or to at least begin to look around. And if you can stand up, and if you'd like to move to a window, often the sky or there are trees or something like that, that can be a big spark of wonder. And just noticing if it's a plant inside or a book or a rock or a candle, just allowing yourself to be with each object, each thing you see, in a way that just shifts from the regular current reality to an openness, a curiosity. And just noticing if wonder comes in. It may be that it's inaccessible right now for whatever reason. And if it is, just noticing that too. Huh. I wonder where that's coming from. Just being with what's coming up as you experience the little steps of the world just immediately around us. Just notice if this is something that you might typically rush past, even with your eyes. If there's something that, a little detail that you might have skipped over or forgotten before. Just being with that in perhaps a slower way, in a way that is maybe more in tune with nature, in tune with our inner nature. And as you begin to notice perhaps a new thing about something that has been there for a while, just noticing how you begin to feel inside. Often when we just kind of rush past, we're on the way to do something else, we feel more condensed and more kind of focused and closed down. And in this, can we invite an experience of expanse, an experience of noticing how large even this little world around us can be. and how we are part of this place. Perhaps even with a sense of wonder at being a breathing being that is alive, that is here on planet Earth, in this city or town or space, in this house, in this space. And perhaps there's something, a detail that's small or precious. Perhaps we can cherish it just for this moment. I notice I have a little cactus plant and the little fuzz on the cactus plant that I haven't seen or paid attention to. I'm just noticing this creature almost. Just having a sense of wonder, or immediately I start to think, how did it get there? What is its purpose? What's happening here? And how beautiful is that? That this being has little fuzz beings on it that have a purpose that I don't know about. When you're ready, you can return. And if you do have paper and pen, you can write down just what you noticed. Paper and pencil is fine too. And just notice what you may have found beautiful in this experience that you may have taken for granted before. And perhaps later today you can bundle up if you're in a cold place, if you can go out for a walk where you can just bring in wonder, bring in the sense of awe wherever you go. Just noticing what makes you feel alive, what gives you a sense of beauty. And I'll just give you a moment to process a little bit of what you may have seen or experienced, even in this 7-minute awe walk or wonder walk. Um, just noticing if it gives you more energy to have a sense of awe, if there's any inspiration or any other thoughts that may have shut down during this experience. Just noticing what this little wonder walk may have done, if anything. And then we will turn to each other and share a little bit, either, something that just came up in your wonder walk, or ways that you are realizing you need to bring more wonder into your own experience, your own daily life. Maybe it's later today, you're going to take a 20-minute wonder walk. You're going to go out into the world and just marvel the beauty of the world that we live in, even when it's hard and difficult and there's a great deal of tough things going on and emotions to process. To also notice that we can cultivate a sense of wonder, that we can also recognize the beauty of the world that we live in, even in just a few short minutes, the beauty of being alive. So wherever you may be, we will turn to each other in small groups just for about 20 minutes or so. And just remember to introduce yourself, share where you're coming from, and a little bit of the sense of wonder that may have come up for you. And we will return in 20 minutes. For those of you on YouTube today, we will have a teacher with us next week. We're very much looking forward to that. And for those of you here on Zoom, we will turn to each other in breakouts and be back here in 20-ish minutes. Enjoy the time together.